Hello, welcome to the fourth lesson of the course Cultural Storytelling, and today we will talk about how to promote your audio guide. And honestly, it is one of the most important topics. On previous lessons, we discussed how to create your audio tour, how to draw tour line, how to create navigation, which storytelling tricks and approaches to use. But in fact, if you create even the world's best audio tour ever, but didn't tell anyone about it, nobody will listen it. And it's a really big problem. And unfortunately, majority of content provider who creates and publish their audio tours, they don't think about promotion, and that's why the usage of their tour is quite low. And that's why we create special lesson in our course which totally dedicated on a promotion. And I want to start with several real examples to explain you how it works and what results promotion may bring. Let's start with the power of paper. In fact, it is just a printed materials, and I want to show how it works in different places. I took well-known example for us, and which I quite often mentioned during the course, Tretyakov Gallery in Moscow, one of the largest and famous art museum in the world. And this museum works with our platform quite a long time and promote, let's say, quite well, comparing the average level. When you enter the museum, you see these posters, you see these postcards which recommend you to listen audio guides. The same postcards you can see on a cash desk, on the website, and so on. And as I said, in general, it is quite okay, even better than usually museums do. But if to see on statistics of listening one of the exhibition in this museum, we can see that something happened in the middle of July. Something that increased amount of usage. This graph is the amount of usage 3 times in average comparing the before. What it was? In fact, it was very simple thing. This one. Just a small poster, not a small, okay. A0 poster near the entrance to the exhibition, which just reminds you, okay, please don't forget we have audio guide for this tour, and that's it. Just a piece of paper, 3 times increased amount of visitors who listen your audio guide. So the same amount of energy resources were spent on creation of the tour, and it is probably months of the work of many people, and just small piece of paper increased 3 times amount of people who enjoyed the result. But it is nothing comparing to the power of word. And let me show you another example, which in our system we specially called Banksy effect, because it's really significant change which we found on one exhibition, which happened again in Moscow. I choose the same place and museums to compare the numbers. And let's start with comparing numbers of Tretyakov Gallery and Pushkin Museum of Art, 2 largest museums with millions of visitors per year. And you see that they have almost the same amount of usage, like about 25-30,000 stories played per month. And in one moment, the temporary Banksy exhibition came to Moscow, and it opened in the same building like Tretyakov Gallery, not in the same museum, just another side of the building, and they opened the exhibition. And you know what happened? They had almost the same 26,000 amount of usage. It is world-famous museum with millions of visitors per year, and just a temporary exhibition which just came to the city showed the same numbers of usage. But what you will say if I tell you that these numbers were for English version of audio guide? I remind you, we're talking about Moscow, where there's a small amount of foreign travelers. And do you want to see the numbers for Russian version? More than 500,000 plays per month, comparing to 25,000 for other museums. So 20 times more amount of place for the exhibition with similar amount of physical visitors. So the conversion rate of visitors to the listeners of the product were 20 times better. In one day, this exhibition were listened, this audio guide, more times than the whole Tretyakov gallery per month. What magic things happened? What is the miracle here? In fact, there is some video which I will show you. It is in Russian, but very short. I will translate it online. Hello, please welcome. Hello. We have a free audio guide. Please install it izi.TRAVEL application. Hello, welcome. Please use our free audio guide in izi.TRAVEL. Hello. Thank you. Please welcome. Thank you. Install our free audio guide. And that's it. Just lady who check-in tickets, don't spend any time, extra time. She just say, please install our free audio guide. We have a free audio guide. And that's enough to engage 20 times more people than those who never heard this information and can find it just on a poster. And by the way, you can see on the left of this lady the poster which explains how to explain audio tour. But the result, again, that almost 60 or 70% of people in the exhibition were listening audio guide. If you ever visited museum, you've probably seen that in most of cases, 2, 5, 10% of visitors listen audio guides. In this exhibition, it was majority of them. It was resolved with a simple phrase when somebody enter to your location, please install audio guide. That's enough. And why I show this example? Because the promotion itself and the usage is nothing by itself. I mean, okay, more people listen it, so what? Same amount visited museum. Why is it so important? In fact, the importance in the launching of word of mouth effect. Every day while this exhibition worked, hundreds, literally hundreds or even thousands posts in social media from with a visitor of this exhibition were published with a very similar information inside. I will read it. There is a free audio guide. Please install it when you exhibition. Without audio guide, it was quite useless and waste of time and money, but with audio guide, I can understand the exhibition. And probably the last one and most important, just please install audio guide. Without it, it is just funny images which you can find on the internet. But with it, you can understand the power of art and what the painter meant. So, audio guide helped to understand the art or history or whatever, because in fact the story behind the object usually is more important than the object itself. Yeah, I know it sounds a little bit strange, especially when we talk about some world famous painting, whatever, but in fact the story behind this painting or building or monument or just a story more important than the object itself, because people want not just to observe it, watch on it, but to learn about it. And when you explain, you make the visitor, your listener, the best promoters, because as I said, hundreds of them, big percent of those who visited museums return to the home and talk to all their friends physically or in social media. Guys, please go to this exhibition. It's really fantastic and amazing. They became your free promoters. They made huge amount of people came to this exhibition, but they did it only because they understood the whole idea of the exhibition with help of audio guide. Without it, as all these people said, it's just funny pictures. So very important to promote, because every enjoyed listener become your best promoter. And to confirm this case, we made another video in small museum, just to explain that it works not only with a big museum and Banksy, what world famous man, but small museum in Netherlands, Deventer, even not museum, but a church and temporary exhibition. And we came there because In our statistics, we've seen something strange, and let's watch video to check it.
We are in the city of Deventer, and why I'm here, it's because we discovered through our statistics that a small exhibition here outperformed in the amount of usage the biggest museums we had so far, like Tretyakov Gallery in Moscow and some other museums. And there is some miracle here, so a small museum started to use audio guide much more than any other places. So I came here to ask what happened.
Well, the miracle is very simple. What we do is we have a host. So when somebody enters the museum, the church where we're in, there's someone asking them, do you have your own phone? There is an installation manual, because everybody can do it themselves, but they're helped. There's simply people helping them. So
So all your staff people are trained
to help.
Exactly.
So that and it's not just not only the hostesses and people around behind the counter, but also the surveillance staff, the security guys. Everybody knows how it works and they're trained to help.
So they did the same. When you enter to the exhibition, some staff, security guy, just a cashier or museum staff, explain to you that they have audio guide, and if you have some troubles to install it, help to do it. So they trained their staff and get amazing results with a small exhibition. They overperformed with engagement of users, largest museum of the world. How it works. In our modern world, which overwhelmed with a lot of advertisement, banners and other stuff, physical contact, even if it takes just a few seconds, works much, much better. But, of course, you can ask me, why do you tell us about museums? We are mostly going to create outdoor audio guides for city streets, and in museum it is easy. Yeah, you can put poster, you can train staff, but what to do on city streets? How to tell about your audio guides for all these people walking around? So I've prepared several examples to demonstrate it. First of all, you have to understand that there are two main ways to promote your audio guide: online and offline. With online, it's quite obvious. You have a website where you can put link to the audio guide, QR code, widget, whatever, and every visitor of your website can learn about audio guide and install it in advance. Then you can make posts in social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. And of course, usually when you launch your audio tour, you create press release and send it through media, and they reprint it. Okay, there is another bicycle audio guide in Netherlands we launched. And here you just need to remember that your website is continuously working. Every visitor can learn about it. But in social media and in press, this information exists just one day. When you publish it, people see it. Almost nobody will see it in future. So if you want to promote your audio tours through social media, good idea, do it not at once, but continuously. For example, each week to publish one story of your tour in social media and remind your subscribers that about your audio tour. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about very interesting project which GHN together with us creates during all this project. It is interactive widget which you can install into your website. So if you create audio tour, you don't need to develop anything else on your website. You can insert one string of the text on your website, and the widget with your audio tour, interactive one, where you can zoom in, scroll the map, choose any story, read it, play it, listen, check images, can be integrated to your website, and it has both desktop and mobile layout. So everything resolved for us thanks to GHN. Please ask Pavel for details. But what about offline promotion? As we understand, it is much more complicated when we talk about the real city. Let's start with something simple and obvious. It's some posters which you can put to the city wall. Of course, if you have a permission from city authority, but we will talk about it a little bit later. And this is example of one Italian content provider who printed these posters and stick it to the walls of the Italian cities. Or another example in small town in Russia with big, nice developed poster with information about this building and links and QR codes which leads to audio tour. Or you can use not city walls but some lampposts, pillars and many other things like this plate in the city park or this plate in just lampposts. There are many of them, they're usually small one and being designed in the same style. It's usually, let's say, not irritate people, but really reminds them on every pillar, on every lamppost about audio tour. Or it could be some specially designed construction, like this construction in near some castle, in Botanic Garden, or this 3D printed strange piece of art in Netherlands. There will be QR code which leads to audio guide. Or probably you've seen some stones on a pavement with QR codes which also leads to audio guide. So some constructions which by itself could be piece of art can be used to inform about your audio tour. Or if you have some physical building or office in a city, you can use your windows, doors or fences, like this fence of Tretyakov Gallery or this window of one GSM operator. They have a lot of offices in many cities and they use their doors and windows to promote some audio tours. But how to get even more promotion coverage, how to tell to more amount of people, and to understand it we need to return to the first lesson when I told you about the storytelling ecosystem. And I want to remind you that there are many other players who are happy because you create audio guides. For example, city hotels and restaurants, because if city become more interesting, more people come to the city, they stop in hotels, they eat in the restaurants and so on. Or travel authorities who are also interesting to create a lot of entertainment in the city, and if you create your audio tour, again, they will be happy to help with promotion because at the end it means more happy travelers and more new guests in this town. And let me show you some example. For example, hotels, restaurants, shops. By the way, the same organization which created and printed these posters for the city walls, they also printed papers on the restaurant, you know, this paper, I don't know how to call it, piece of paper on the table for restaurants, and they put information about the tour on it. It could be a map with tour line, and you can distribute it through the restaurants near your tour. And the restaurants will be happy to promote it, and the guest, the visitor of the restaurant, will be happy to learn something interesting while they waiting for their order. Or hotels, this is again a real example, the hotel in Moscow, which promotes audio tour near it, because again it helps them to entertain guests, to satisfy them, to help them to discover the city. Or this shop in Netherlands, which promotes bicycle tours in surrounding. Or it could be city or regional tourist authority. Like here in Moscow, it's a bus stop which promote audio tour for regular bus. As I told you, there could be audio guides not only for walking travelers, but for bicyclists, car or public transportation. This is an example when City of Moscow promotes audio tour created by someone, some other organization for public transportation. Or the city which put huge banner on the roof of the building in Apatit, the small town in the very north of Russia, again to promote the audio tour. Or the airport of Yerevan in Armenia, which also say, okay, visit our city, you are welcome, please listen audio tours in our city to discover it better. Or it could be other businesses. So it was at city authorities, but it could be even businesses, not only hotels and restaurants, but some others, like this bicycle rent and this Electra, quite well-known bicycle company. They rent out their bikes and propose to listen audio tour. By the way, created by someone else, not by them, because there is a new idea why to rent a bike. So rental points helps to promote audio tour. Or, as I already shown before, commuter trains, which promotes audio tours for the trains and in the city of destination. Why? Again, because it probably turn you to the traveler. You will buy this ticket and go to the city for a walk for weekend, for example. So they promote this audio tours. Or hop-on, hop-off buses. A real example again from Moscow. You know that in hop-on, hop-off buses you usually have this audio guide included to the bus. But this audio guide tell you stories along your route on a bus. But what will you do on the stops when you leave the bus to take a small walk through the city? So what they did, they just discovered, oh, there are many audio tours created by someone else, local museums, storytellers, city authorities. So we will pick up those which started near our bus stops and we will promote them. Because it is a new kind of service for our passengers. They can listen audio guide not only inside the bus, but on every stop. Okay, here I try to highlight different ways and ideas how to promote your audio tour, how to engage partners to promote your audio tour. But when you promote, when you do any marketing activity, of course, it is very important to measure the results and compare, okay, this approach works, this works better, this works not so good, and so on. For this, we have quite extended usage statistics in our system, where you can see amount of listens or opens your tour in every day, and not only the tour itself, but every single story of your tour. You see as on the left, there are single stories of one tour, and you can check, okay, how many times this story was played or this story was played, and not only amount of plays, but from what cities was those people who listen it, from what countries, in what languages did they listen it, did they made it online or offline, did they launch story after manually, for example, sitting at home, or by GPS, meaning that they definitely walk through the city. Did they use Android or iOS, and many other type of information? You can get it. And of course, you can check when you start some promotion, you can check, did my statistics go up or not? If yes, it works. If not, it doesn't work. So you can see the results on the next day of starting promotion campaign. But also, quite interesting thing, how you can use the statistics. You can compare statistics story by story. And I want to show it on the example of this quite popular tour in Amsterdam through the red light district. And you see this tour consists of 18 stories. And there is a graph of plays, amount of plays of each story. And you can see that the first story were launched almost 900 times. And the rest stories were launched less amount of times. It's normal situation, quite common case, because usually when people open audio tour, probably they even do not go to walk through it right now, but they launch first story just to listen your voice, understand the passion, how it sounds, and so on, and close it, and then take a decision walk or not to walk. But you see that the rest stories had quite similar amount of plays. Second 600 and the rest like 550, 500. Usually amount of plays reducing during the tour line. It means that then far away from the start, then closer to the end of the tour, then less people listen to the story. It's also normal case, but this tour quite well done, and you see that during the tour almost no reducing of amount of plays. It means that those who start to listen it went till the end. But you definitely see these three drops story number 3, story number 12, and story number 15. It's a signal for you what happened in these points that people usually do not listen to the story. And you can open your tour in CMS and check, story number 3 has a small trigger zone and many people just pass through it without launching story. And story number 2, the previous one, is quite long, and usually it doesn't play till the end when you pass through the point number 3. So you just pass point because previous story still playing. The same with story number 12 and 15. So for you as a content provider, it's a signal. Okay, probably I need to make story number 2 shorter and increase the size of trigger zone for story number 3. And so on. So with this analytics, you can understand what to do. Okay, let's try to sum it up. First and very important rule which you have to remember. Not promoted tour doesn't exist. It means that if you create very good tour but don't spend efforts to promote it, most probably nobody will listen it. And in terms of usage, not equality, but in terms of usage, the promotion is much more important than the quality of your tour. If you create bad content but promoted it well, it will have more usage than the good tour without promotion. It's a pity, but it happens. So you have to understand that it is not enough to create a quality tour, but you need to promote it also quite well. Then you need to use both online and offline promotion. There is no silver bullet. And the second suggestion, use all possible ways to promote. Again, because there is no silver bullet which works better or worse. You have to use all types of promotion which is relevant, which you can do, because different people react differently. Somebody will see your poster, somebody will hear your story, somebody will find information on the internet. Don't forget to promote as extensively as possible. But also remember that told word much more effective than printed. As I've shown in the very beginning, if you print poster or just tell visitor install and listen audio tour, the second option works almost 20 times better. So if you have any opportunity to physically talk to your people with help of staff, some volunteers, whatever, do it. It helps much better than any other type of promotion. Of course, you have to leverage partners. These hotels or restaurants near your tour line, they will be happy to help with promotion because they understand they satisfy their clients better. And check results in statistics. We have this tool, so you can check and compare the results of different activity and choose those which works better. And to help you in future, I prepared a couple of useful links. First link you can find by scanning this QR code on our website. This article called 40 Ways to Promote Your Audio Tour. In fact, it is 43 ways. And it is just a checklist which you can print and check, okay, this I did, this I can't, this I should do, and so on. Just a really nice checklist with different types of promotion, with comparing which usually works better or worse. Please use it when you prepare your promo campaign. And of course, for any offline and online promotion, you will need some promo materials like banners, posters, postcards, roll-ups, whatever. We have prepared materials which you can download, just change some images, name of your organization and so on. And please, you are welcome to use our templates. You can download it by this QR code. And that's it. I guess it was useful. Thank you for listening this lesson and the whole course, and create your audio guide and promote them. Thank you.